Good morning. Oh, I slept late last night. I slept around 4 a.m. this morning. Somehow I could not sleep or nothing. I went to sleep around 4 a.m. this morning, and I just woke up at it's 10 o'clock, December 11. The whole yesterday I could not sleep. I don't know why. So I took a shower yesterday, and then I did some laundry yesterday at Queen's Laundry yesterday, and then I took a bath, cleaned myself up, shampoo my hair, and I could not sleep. I don't know why. My brains were just kicking the whole yesterday, and I finally went to sleep 4 a.m. this morning. So Queen also is right here. I just gave her some milk. She's right here in my arms. I just gave her milk. She won't finish the milk. She just fell to sleep. So I don't want to talk about. It's not Queen. I just have some things on my chest that I need to talk about. Since I'm in the hospital, I'm just like, okay, I need to talk. I need to talk more. Talk about some revelations, everything. Like God is showing me some things. So I need to talk about it. I need to voice it out. The next revelation I got from God, from Jesus Christ, it's like, okay, I'm coming soon. Set for me a throne. Set for me my palace. Set before me my kingdom. That's why Queen has the name Queen. Yes, she didn't finish it. That's all. Okay. So what I want to talk is Revelation chapter 4, the throne in heaven. So Revelation chapter 4 is talking about the throne in heaven. If you reach Revelation chapter 4, like the whole of last week, that's what I was going through. Revelation chapter 4 is talking about the throne in heaven, and it's talking about an open door. Well, like there was a throne set up in heaven in Revelation chapter 4, and when the throne was set up, there was someone sitting on the throne. The first thing was like there was an open door in heaven, and when the door was open, there was a throne, and when the throne, somebody was sitting on the throne. The throne is kind of like royalty, like London have royalty, like Queen Elizabeth, like a kingdom. America is not ruled by a kingdom. America is ruled by the rich, mighty, and wealthy. If you rich like Donald Trump, you'll be a president anytime you want, because Donald Trump owned the whole America. Donald Trump have Trump Tower, all the hotels in America is owned by Donald Trump. He has multiple companies, so that's why it was easy for Donald Trump to become president. It's not like they like Donald Trump. They don't like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump have the money, so Donald Trump was a president. Oh, sorry. Donald Trump was a president because he had the money. Sorry. You know, so he was a president not because America. I'm sure he was the worst person that America liked. America did not like Donald Trump. The people that America loved was Obama. The whole America voted for Obama. The whole America liked Obama. Obama is the mark of the peace, and America is the mark of the peace. America is Babylon. So the whole America rooted for Obama because they love How did Obama climb the seat? It was love from the whole world. How did Trump climb the seat? It was his money because he's rich. So that's how America has been. They have their White House. That's how America is being ruled. That's how America is set up. You win the presidency or you enter the White House. It's either they love you or you have the money. You buy it with money. So Donald Trump bought the election with his money. You understand? They didn't like Donald Trump, but he win because he got the money. So he won. It's either they love you or you win with your money. So that's how their presidency is being ruled. They either like you and they vote you in there, or you have the money to buy the seat. And then that's not how London is being ruled. London is ruled by the Queen Elizabeth. London is royalty. We have Kate Middleton, we have Prince Williams, we have Prince Harry. So London is kind of a royal setup where the Queen sit on the throne. So America is not being set up like that. So I kind of like the Bible is talking, and it's a revelation. Revelation is kind of like a prophecy. Your prophecy. So sometimes if you are a children of light, if you're children of Jesus, you got to open the Bible, and then you have to find where you fit in the Bible. You have to ask yourself, do I fit in the Bible? And where does my prophecy comes in the Bible? Where do I find myself in the Bible? Because if you're a child of Jesus, you're a child of Christ, you are in that Bible, you're prophesying in that Bible. What Jesus says about you is in that Bible. So open the Bible and you find yourself in the Bible and say, who am I inside this Bible? Am I the woman in the book of Revelation chapter 12 who says she's gonna be pregnant and she's gonna give birth to a child, that child's gonna rule all the world? Am I that lady? Is my prophecy Revelation chapter 12? Am I actually that lady in Revelation chapter 12? Or am I not the lady? Am I in Revelation chapter 13? Am I actually the beast? Or where do I find myself? Am I the angel in Revelation? Because Revelation is a prophecy of your life, of your destiny, of what is about to happen. Revelation is a future. Revelation is talking about the future. What gonna happen? What gonna take place when Christ returns? Because the Old Testament was talking about the past. The Old Testament is talking about the past. It's talking about Moses, how he freed the Israelites. It's talking about Adam and Eve, how they ate the forbidden fruit and they became naked. And then we move to the New Testament. It's talking about rebirth of the church with Jesus Christ, how he got rejected by the Israelites, his own people turning out. He moved to the Gentiles, and that's where the New Testament come in. And he picked his disciples, the 12 apostles, and called them. That's when Jesus came in, and the birth of the church came in the New Testament. After the New Testament, when he died, they started persecuting the church. Since then, after he died, that's when persecution of the church started, when Jesus died. And the last person who died among all his apostles was John. John was the last person who died. Before he died, he went to prison. They took John to prison. That's when John died in prison. Because among all the 12 apostles, all of them died, and the last person who died was John. So while John was in prison, he had a revelation. He had a vision. When you see things, you have a vision. Like how Joseph, the dreamer, knows how to interpret dreams. John saw Jesus in prison. He had constant revelation of what was going to happen in the future. So Jesus appeared to him and revealed everything before his coming. So after that, you move now in the book of Revelation. You see John in the beginning of book of Revelation. You see in John talking about the story, about the revelation, about what he saw, about the vision he saw while he was in jail. And after he had all the revelation, John died. And church has been begun. What we have now is persecution over persecution, and Babylon took over, witchcraft took over, and the church is having come. So what I want to talk is like, you see how I gave the name Queen? I thought about it. I'm not gonna say I thought about it. It's kind of like a revelation. Like God is trying to tell me, like, Clarice, set for me a throne for my return. Like the throne of Queen Elizabeth. Like Queen Elizabeth is sitting on her throne in London. We have Kate Middleton, she's a princess. We have Prince William, Prince Harry. You understand? It's like what I want you to do. You said something like a royal kingdom. Make sure the kids, make sure your children, set up a throne or a kingdom for me of kings and queens. Because the book of Revelation says the 24 elders sitting on the throne, and they all have crown. They talk about four living human beings, four creatures sitting on the throne, and they have crown on their head. Understand? What is what read it? Revelation chapter 4 is talking about the throne in heaven, and someone sitting on it, and the four living creatures sitting and bowing down to the king, and on top of their head they have crown of gold. They have crown, they have something covered on their head. They have like a golden crown on their head. That's why I gave my daughter's name Queen, because Christ's return is near, and Revelation is talking how they are all being crowned with the crown on their head, like royalty. So kind of like Jesus is trying to tell me, like, I want to be royal. I want my kingdom to be royal. Like, set me a kingdom of royalty. Set me a kingdom of priesthood, of royalty. Let your children, all of them, let them have crown on their head. You know, like, I cannot, like, now I feel so bad. When I gave birth to Derek, I never put a crown on his head. And I'm like, I don't want to make any mistake. That's why when I gave birth to Queen, I have to put a crown on my daughter's head. You know, like, the crown is a sign of honor. It's a sign of royalty. It's a sign that you come from a kingdom. You understand? So I was like, I made a mistake not putting a crown on Derek's head. I just named him Derek, and I asked his dad to name the other name, and he named him after his name, Atuan. So I'm like, I wish I put a crown on Derek's head, but I never put a crown on his head. That's why I see, I'm like, okay, since I didn't put a crown on my son's head, I'm gonna make him a star. My favorite celebrity in Africa is Flavor. I'm like, since I didn't put a crown on your head, I'll make sure you be a star like Flavor in Africa. So I'm like, I'm gonna call Derek Flavor, because Flavor is like my favorite celebrity ever in Africa. Like, I'm like the #1 fan of Flavor in Africa. And Nigerian artist, his name is Chinedu, but they call him Flavor. So when I gave Queen the name, I'm like, okay, I didn't even put a crown on Derek's head, you know. But he's gonna be like the greatest star ever. You know how King David was playing music, was singing. King David would sing and demons would run away. I'm like, I want Derek to sing and touch people's heart. Demons be coming out of people's body. Even though I didn't put the crown on his head, even the little mistake mommy did, like, Derek, I'm sorry, but I'm make sure I'm gonna call you Flavor, because Flavor is kind of like my favorite celebrity ever, or favorite artist ever in Africa. Like, I just love Flavor, because he just kind of give me a vibe. He just give me energy. Like, I'll play Flavor music every day. My energy will just get up. And Derek is so lively, have a vibe. And since I didn't put a crown on Derek's head, I would just call him Derek Flavor. Even though it's not a certificate, but I'm gonna call him Derek Flavor. Cause I love Flavor. So I'm just like, Derek, your name is Flavor. You are gonna be the star of America. You are gonna be a star in the whole world. You even gonna be great more than Flavor. So I'm like, Derek, you know what? Your name is Flavor from now onward. Derek Flavor. Your name is Flavor, you know. And then I gave birth to Queen. When I gave birth to Queen, I had other names. Queen was not even part of it. But immediately, it's like the children don't really want me to bother about name. They just like, when mom, don't worry. When you give birth, you look at us, then you're gonna know who we are, and then you're gonna give us a name. Don't even bother about the name. I had so many different names of Queen. The one I named her wasn't even my list, but immediately I gave birth to Queen. They put her on my hands. I cried, I screamed. The doctors asked me what's her name, and I just burst into tears. I'm like, her name is Queen. Her name is Queen. Her name is Queen. You know. They're like, is that the name you wanted to give her? I'm like, no, it came out of nowhere. Her name is Queen. It's just kind of like a revelation. I cried. Her name is Queen because that was not even in my mind. I started thinking of Queen just 1 week before giving birth. So I just kind of wanted to say, God is trying to tell me to set up a kingdom for him. A kingdom that all the kids, all the children gonna have a crown on their head. Because I don't want my children to suffer the way I have suffered. Like I have suffered in America for 10 years and it's not stopping. That it's just kind of making me like, you know what, I want to go back to Africa because I am tired of being I am tired of suffering. I'm tired of being tortured. Like right now, I'm just like, you know what? If I have to suffer like this, why should I not be in Africa? I should better be in Africa if I have to suffer like this in America, you understand? So I kind of make an oath and make a deal with myself that the children that I'm going to give birth to will not suffer. By then, the first thing I have to give them a beautiful name because that name is your destiny. Your destiny begins with your name, you know? The names my parents gave me were not good names, and that's the name has been following me. The name has been torturing me. Like my name is Musi. Musi means tears. Musi means miserable. You understand? So my parents gave me a very bad name, and that name has been following me all the days of my life. Do you understand? So the first gift you give your child is a very beautiful name. If you give your child a horrible name, that's the destiny of that child. By the name of that child, that's her destiny already. And you know, if you give your child a name Duck, that child's gonna become a duck. If you give a child a name Cat, that child's gonna become a cat. But if you give a child Queen, that child becomes a queen. You understand? So I cannot make a deal with myself. I cannot have this revenge with myself. I cannot have this anger with myself. I cannot have this, I'm just like angry with my mom. I'm angry with my dad for giving me such a horrible name, because the name in my tribe, Musi, means tears. It means sorrow. And since then, I've been a child of sorrows from the day one I was in Africa. I moved in America. It get worse when I was here, understand? Just rejection because of my name. Because my name is Musi. Musi means sorrow. Musi means tears. And I have not found peace ever since my dad and my mom gave me the name Musi, which means sorrow, which means tears. Do you understand? I've never had peace. I've never been a happy child because my dad or my mom choose to put sorrow or choose to put a dagger on my heart. Understand? So my name, Musi, means sorrow, means tears. You understand? That's my name. So I'm kind of like having this revenge of now over my children, that my children are going to have no horrible name because that name begins with their destiny. Giving her queen is crowning her, telling her, you queen. Maybe one day you're going to be the queen of America. If you're not the queen of America, you're going to be a queen in Africa. If you're not a queen of Africa, you're going to be queen in Europe. You're going to be a queen. One day you're going to be a queen in your kingdom. You understand? So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to crown my children. I'm going to put the crown on their head. I'm going to name them Queen this. I'm going to name them Queen Clarice, Queen Mary, Queen Esther is a king. I mean King David, King Samuel, King Solomon. I make them like they should be higher of royalty. Like God is like, set the throne. I am coming back. Set the throne of royalty, of king and queens. Set for me a kingdom, so that my children should not suffer. That should be their destiny, that they kings and queens in the kingdom. That means they're gonna be sitting on the chair and people will be serving them. They're gonna have servants serving them instead of them being servants to other people. Because I have been a servant. Mommy has been a servant. I've been in America for 10 years and I have served America. I have slaved myself in Boston. I have slaved myself working for Dunkin' Donuts for almost 10 years. And nothing to show for it. Still, I'm homeless. Still, I have no house. Still, I have no place. Even having children, 2 kids, I still have no place. You understand? I still have no place. Even having kids, you think it's gonna get better. You still suffering with children, which you just like, damn, this now is witchcraft. Because you have rejected the mark of the beast. You have rejected all the offers the devil is offering you, so that you can be part of them, so that they can cut you off your leg before they give you a house, before they remove your eye, before they give you that beautiful job. These people are going through a lot before they give you a nice house. They make sure they inject you with the mark of the beast. And since I have rejected it, they make sure I suffer. They make sure I go on the street. So I cannot take a revenge. Now, any of my children I give birth to, I make sure I put a crown on their head. If it's a girl, I make sure she's Queen Clarice, she's Queen Mary, she's Queen Esther. If it's a boy, that child is a king. I make sure they become king. I give them their destiny as king, and they should have servants serving them, because I am tired of serving other people. King Solomon, King Samuel, King Jesus. Because I want to give them a beautiful gift starting with their name, because my name has been messed up by my parents. And today, that name is following me. That name is making me miserable. I have not rest with that name. That's why you saw I changed the name to Queen Clarice. Like me and my daughter who wearing that crown. I'm like, I don't mind sharing my crown with you, or you don't mind sharing your crown with me. If you are the queen, let me share your crown. If I am the queen, you share my crown. If I am the queen, let me share my crown with my daughter. If she is a queen, let her share her crown with her mother. You understand? So she wearing her crown, I'm wearing my own crown. So that's why I gave her the name Clarice, Queen. So she's Queen Clarice. I gave her my name Clarice, which means bride, and Claire, and Queen is a royalty. So she's wearing my crown and I'm wearing her crown. So we share the crown. So I'm just gonna, okay, Jesus is asking me to set up a throne. Make sure I crown my kids with queen. Make sure I crown my kids with king. He's asking me to set up a royal throne. He's asking me to crown all of them with the crown, so they never get to suffer the way I did. Because up to now, I am still suffering. I'm still being tortured, even with 2 babies. I have nothing to show for it. And you just be like, damn, this is a witchcraft. And I will never entire life want to see my children suffer. And I kind of like revenge now, saying that my children will never suffer. And I'm going to start by giving them a beautiful name, because that name is their destiny. That name is their future. That name will tell them what they're going to be in the future. So you give your child the name Sorrow. You give a child the name Tears. That child is going to cry. That child is going to be cried. And that child is going to be a sorrowful baby. That child is going to be a miserable baby. That child is going to suffer. And that's why I've been affected by a name that my parents gave me. Musi. Musii. Musi. Which means tears. Which means sorrow. I have been a daughter of sorrow. I have been a daughter of tears. I have cried all my life. And I'm like, no, my children will be crowned. My children will have crowns on their head. My children will be kings and queens. My children will sit on the throne, and they're going to have servants serving them. They're not going to serve nobody. Even I did a mistake with Derek, not crowning Derek, but Derek is going to be a star because he's going to be Flavor. I will name him after my favorite celebrity in Africa, who is Flavor. So Derek, his name is Flavor, Derek Flavor. And make sure Derek become the greatest star ever. Even though I never crowned Derek, but he's still king. Derek right there is King David. King David was the one playing instruments. He played music, and evil spirit came out from people. Derek is that baby that will sing his heart out, and evil spirit will be coming out of people's heads. So, I'm like little baby child. Don't mind if I didn't crown you, but no, you are Flavor. And you gonna be the greatest star ever America have ever known. Because you are a very lively baby. Do you understand? So, Jesus is asking me to set a throne, and I should make sure I crown all my babies. Make sure they don't suffer. Make sure they sit on the chair. Make sure they're gonna have mates saving them. They should not be on the floor serving people because their mom has suffered enough. The mom has paid the price for them to sit on the chair. You understand? I have suffered enough so that my children can sit on a chair. You understand? Some things mom would suffer, some mom would suffer so that their child can sit on a chair. I think I'm one of those mothers that have tried revenge and say, you know what? I have suffered enough in America and giving birth to my children. I make sure I crown them with the crown. I make sure I make all my children queens. I make sure I make all my children kings. And I make sure they sit on a chair and they will be served by people. Because their mom have served people in America for 10 years. And it's high time my kids sit on a chair. Because my kids not going to be servants. My kids not going to be made. They're going to be queens. They're going to be kings. And they're going to sit on a chair. Because their mom have paid the price. You understand? So Jesus like set the throne for me. Make it a royal family. Make it royal. Make sure you put them all crowns. Crown them as queen, king. Make a kingdom for me before I return. Set a kingdom before I return. So I kind of like, And this happened just when I gave birth to Queen. But after I thought about it, like, is Jesus trying to tell me to set a kingdom? Is he trying to tell me to crown them, all of them? Like the book of Revelation saying they sit on the throne having crowns on their head. I'm like, Jesus, are you trying to tell me to set you a kingdom? Are you trying to tell me to crown all of them? So I'm like, okay, this is it. I'll make sure my children become queens and kings in our own kingdom. Because mom has suffered enough and mom has paid the price, and I will never want my children to suffer like me because my mom chose to give me a bad name, because the name have affected me, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna have this. So I'm just gonna leave it there because this kind of like the throne in heaven. So I want to set up a throne in heaven, make sure I crown all of them. First, I don't want them to suffer like me. I don't want them, because I have paid the price, and I don't want my children to suffer like me. So I make sure I crown all my kids with the crown, or I make sure I give them the best of the name, because that's their destiny. The gift you're giving her is that name. That name is gonna follow her. That name is her destiny. You not gonna name a child tears. You can name a child sorrow. That child will be full of tears. That child will be full of sorrow. So that's my life, because my name is tears. My name is sorrow. And he has been haunting me all the days of my life. And I say, you know what, Queen, you will not suffer. You will not suffer. Because you are Queen. You will not suffer. She's sleeping. Okay, I'm just gonna load this one now. I'm just gonna end it there because all these videos I do them on my phone, so I'm not be having space. So since I have energy since yesterday, I'm like, okay, let me just talk what I have to say. So my teeth are shining, my teeth are glowing. Okay, bye.